Hey everyone, welcome to NiteLife Exchanges. Here we are this today. It's the beginning of the fall, coming very soon here in New York, and I'm looking forward to seeing my good friend and co-host Tony Javid. And Tony, come on on.
Hello.
Here we are.
You didn't even send me a memo about the floral motif, but I'm glad
I
that
know.
I.
I was. I hope that it was something. I was looking for a rose somewhere on here. But you'll know
Gee, I
about
wonder
that in a
why.
moment. You'll all know about that in a moment. Hey, Tony, just
Mhm.
a few things. So, things are going well here at Nightlife Exchange and the
I know.
exchanges. I just wanted to let you know. I don't know if I was able to mention this figure to you, but as of last week, we're getting 80,000 views per month of people coming to the Nightlife Exchange site, and that is people that are cabaret people, Broadway people, and jazz people. So we've expanded a lot into a lot of different all the areas that we need to. Today we have a really special guest coming on with us, and
We do.
somebody that I've seen many times over the years performing. She's iconic and a very major part of my youth because one of the songs that she wrote really spoke to me and my generation. I know I'm a little older than you. Hey Tony, what do you think about this beard? I don't. I think I might have to change the photo that we have at the beginning of the Nightlife Exchanges.
It's a statement piece.
I
It, it,
guess.
it, it you know, you already bring gravitas. It is the
Ah,
physical manifestation of
gravitas.
extra gravitas.
So, ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, I'm going to introduce. First, we're going to play a little video. This is going to set it up so that everybody that's in the cabaret world is going to know who our person for the interview is going to be when they see this, and then we're going to go into it, and we're going to let you know how you can see it soon. All right. So, Tony, play that video for us, would you?
I'd love to.
Some say love, it is a river, and it drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves your soul to bleed. Some say love, it is a hunger and endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, its only seed.
So, folks, the incredibly talented and delightful Amanda McBroom is with us today. Hi, Amanda.
Hello, my friends. How are you?
Welcome.
You're
Doing
doing well.
great. Even better now that we have you
Thrilled to
gracing the
be here
screen
with
with
you
us.
today. Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
delighted to be here. Oh,
Well, I hope we didn't fake out anybody, but when they saw that, they would have thought maybe we have Bette Midler come. We're not going to be able to get Bette Midler to come onto a Nightlife Exchanges, but
you don't
you
know.
never know, I
You
guess. You're right.
know.
But meanwhile, we have you, and you wrote the lyrics, and you wrote the music to that song, which, as I say, was a generational um, moment that I certainly it had a major effect on me. Now I will
It was
tell you,
multi-generational, I
yeah,
would
it
say.
goes,
That was
yeah,
that was part of the soundtrack of our lives
yeah, it's
when that
lasted.
came out.
It's still with us,
All of our lives.
and I was an usher at a movie theater in Brooklyn at the Alpine Theater, and I saw that movie, The Rose, 75 times because that's what you did, and it was great. It never wore out on me, and the song was always something that brought it right back every show. So
Oh.
thank you so much for that.
Oh, you are so welcome.
And-
I thank the universe for that.
And it
Yeah,
was just so nice to just hear you, that would get to share you, and nothing like the writer interpreting their song. And it just goes, it was just so neat to see the juxtaposition of two different interpretations. It was
Yes.
lovely.
Now you did say that, and actually Bette said it was a moment when everything came together in her universe.
Well,
And it was obviously a moment that everything came together in your universe. And my first question really is, so at the time that happened, you were you were starting out. You weren't, you're still young and young songwriter with, bright eyes and bushy tailed, I guess would be. And you got that song and that acclaim. Did that hinder you? Did that help you? What was that like at such a young age?
it changed my life forever. I was not a songwriter. I was writing songs as a hobby. I was an actress. I had been doing theater. I was doing television in LA, and I just wrote songs on the side just as a little hobby. And when this one appeared, there is a couple of songs that have happened in my life where I say it's somebody put their hands in my head, split my head open, and dumped a full song into my head. Or I can say, I'm the window that happened to be open when that song wanted to come through. And I remembered I got the thought for it on the freeway, and I was driving home, and I ran into the house, and I ran past my husband who was watching football. And I said, I can't talk to you right now. Something's happening. And 15 minutes later, there was something on my yellow legal pad. And I called him in and I said, I don't know what this is, but I played it for him. And he looked at me and he said, you just wrote a standard. And I said, don't be silly. I'm not a songwriter, And he said, mark my words. And once the miracle of it going into Bette's hands and throat, it changed everything forever. Because
Right.
everybody started looking at me like I was a songwriter.
And of course, that miracle was a real miracle because from what I understand, the song ended up on a discard pile at a certain point. There was a lot of submissions.
Yes.
And they didn't think it was whoever was doing that work put it on a discard. They were going to get rid of it. It wasn't one of the songs they wanted to consider. And Miss Midler herself actually got her hands on it and said, this is the song.
They were looking for rock and roll. They were looking for another piece of rock and roll. And that God knows that is not rock and roll.
Right. Amazing. And so good that it happened.
Absolutely.
And let's talk about, your early years before that. Now, before that, you were an actress.
Yes.
And you were involved, the cabaret world is one of the places that we love very dearly. And one of the things that happened in those days was at the Village Gate, that Jacques Brel is alive and well show that played forever and in numerous places around.
Yes.
It went to different cities and all. You were in that cast.
I was indeed. That's one of the other major miracles in my life. Not only was it my first chance to really perform in New York, that incredible material. I had not even been aware of Jacques Brel. It inspired me to write songs. The style of my writing is directly related to having been in that show. And that's where I met my husband. He was the star of the show. And we met in 1969 in San Francisco when he was on his first national tour. And then when we went to the Village Gate, I got to be in the show with him. And that changed everything. So it's another miracle.
Yeah,
it's amazing, the
Gate,
concentric circles.
Yeah, the Village Gate, iconic, an iconic location in those days for the cabaret world. Art DeLugoff, you got a chance to watch him in action.
Yes, absolutely.
Incredible.
The special entrepreneurs of music. He's one. Bill Graham is one in San Francisco, but Art was a very unique human being, and he gave a great gift of music to the world.
Yeah. It really was, and we have those people, and that's because of this business, and what it is. And I will always tell people it's one of the most important businesses that we have in the world, because if it weren't for music, I just like everybody to think where we would be today even though that could be better, if it weren't for the music through the pandemic and even right now and all the time, music is what saves the world.
Absolutely.
It
There's a
really truly
I
is.
was reading it the other day. There was a premise that before people spoke, before human beings spoke, they sang. Because there's something about music, not even lyric, music that can go heart to heart.
Right.
And if you're lucky, the lyric will follow, but music is the thing that emotionally connects people.
And one of the connections that you have, very close connections that you have, is Michelle Brauman.
Yes.
And you've been working with her and known her for also a very long time.
We're celebrating our I can't believe I'm saying this, our 50th anniversary as a songwriting team.
Right.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. We both find it astounding.
Oh,
And
well,
so things over the years where I know that you worked on a lot of songs together.
Yes.
You've worked on songs individually. And I'm just curious, so like you'll write a song and then you'll be, okay, Michelle, take a listen.
Sometimes it used to be I would write a song, Michelle take a listen, and she would tweak it. These days, because her musical imagination is just exquisite, if I write a lyric that I really like, I just send it to her and say, honey, go for it. And she will always come back with something that I was not expecting and is so much better than anything I ever anticipated. I love writing with Michelle.
She's
We're
also
very simpatico.
Yeah, she's also a favorite of ours, and my favorite year being something that actually Michael Mackesy, right, Tony, when we did doing Piano Bar Live, Michael, we had Michelle on, and she actually Michael sang My Favorite Year, and she played for him, which was a very special moment. Again, these are songs that are in this business, ingrained in what we do and in the cabaret world.
Yeah.
So just going along with that, like you are not going to be with Michelle in Birdland. You have a show coming up at Birdland on Monday, September 23rd at 7 p.m. It's called Winter Song.
Yes.
Okay. And so who's playing for you for this show?
A wonderful woman named Beth Falcone. And her husband is one of the best bass players in the business. And I've worked with him before. His name is Rit Hen. And when Michelle told me that she was unable to come to New York, I panicked, of course. Right. And then I discovered, I called all of my really good singing friends in New York, and they all said, Beth Falcone, you got to work with Beth. And we've met only once physically, but we have been emailing and Zooming back and forth, and it's going to be a big old adventure. This is my new, maybe final, who knows, CD, because only people our age own CD players anymore. But there's a song that Michelle and I wrote that became a Christmas hymn that is one of the songs I'm proudest of. And that I said, well, if we did this, we have other Christmas songs we've written together. So it's become a holiday CD, and I'm very proud of it. So it's debuting at Birdland.
And it couldn't be a better place. They're so wonderful over there. The way that they just run everything, it is
impeccable.
Just like you're going into somebody's home.
Yeah.
Like a family in there as well.
So, only somebody's home with the best piano in New York.
Oh yeah, they really do have everything.
Sound system.
They have everything in good order between Jim Caruso and Gianni.
Yes.
Kudos to them for the work that they do on keeping that place as wonderful as it is.
Yeah.
And bringing in the acts that they have coming in there, and including yours. So this is great. Monday, folks, if you're not doing anything and you want to see one of the greats of this in this business, Amanda McBroom. I didn't hear any of this music yet because it's just coming out.
Yes,
that's exciting actually. For
the CD drops on October the 4th, but we've just released one of the singles as a little teaser, so that can be heard.
All right, excellent.
Terrific.
Where would people hear that, Amanda? On like Spotify or something?
Spotify,
like that?
Apple, yes, any of the above. Yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome.
So Tony,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Tony, you have any questions you want to ask Amanda while we have it here? This has been wonderful for us, by the way. We're very excited to have you.
I love talking to you guys.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, to go back because thank goodness, you're creating new stuff always creating new stuff for us to hear. So thank you for that. But I was curious because you talk, I hadn't thought of that term, but the rose, that sort of, oh, gee, why don't I write a song? And oh, it's a standard. I was just curious if there was another cover that outside of of your song that particularly moved you or surprised you or something of the rose.
Another cover of there have been
I know, that's why I was just wondering.
So many interesting. Judy Collins, of course.
Oh.
Leanne Rimes was a beautiful one. And there's a duet somewhere of Bette and Winona Ryder that's ridiculous. It's really so beautiful. Two of the best pairs of lungs on the planet, which deeply moves me.
That's wonderful.
Oh, see that? And I just love that when a song that is so well written and so moving that it can be interpreted and reinterpreted over years, over decades. So that's thank you for that. That was just a little curiosity of mine. So
sure.
And
it's also in an Eminem. Eminem sampled it for something. So I'm also in hip hop, which is thrilling.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that one thing it got you across all these different genres, and then not forget such a huge impact on the movie industry.
Oh,
as well. So.
So I have one more question, and just because I'm sure that over the years, young songwriters and people that want to be get into the business and all, I'm guessing that you've had correspondence, letters in the old days, now emails and such, asking you for advice. What do you think? What would be good advice for me to know how I want to be a songwriter? What advice would you give people that are really starting to craft and be a part of the songwriting of the future?
Well, music changes with every decade. So the decade we're in right now is built on the rhythm first, the music second, the lyrics third, which is the reverse of when I was writing. But then I've never been writing like a regular writer. So what I tell people who want to write is, find the story in your heart. Tell the truth. Be really specific, because when you are very specific in a lyric, it makes it universal to the people who are listening. Rather than saying one day, say Tuesday. Rather than, there's something interesting about that specificity. And for me, a song is about story. You listen also to some of the great writers today. Taylor Swift, great writer. Adele, great writer. Some of the country people, great writers. And it's about story. So I always say, find the truth, find a story that resonates with you. You can find it anywhere. To keep a pencil and paper or your iPhone with you, because you can find it on a street corner. You can find it in obituaries. You can find it in the newspaper. You can find it on steal thoughts, write them all down. Don't think that they're going to stay in your head. Write them down.
And how often do we say that even about dreams? It's like, oh, I'll remember that in the morning. And you think, especially if it's a good idea, moment of inspiration, keep that, whatever writing device you have, keep it near.
Good advice. Good advice. Thank you. And all you folks that are out there working and writing and that are songwriters, keep them coming, because it's one of the most important things that we have in our world, in our existence, is music and songs.
Absolutely.
And as Jan Wallman would always say, it's all about the lyric, though. So I still believe that lyric that tells that story is truly the kernel that everything grows from.
100%.
And
that's
folks,
cabaret. Cabaret is about the lyric. Absolutely.
Right. And cabaret is where we can get so many opportunities that a lot of people won't get, especially nowadays. It's not quite as easy. You get an opportunity to have an audience, break the wall, get feedback. It is an incredible thing that we must keep alive.
And you can do anything. The thing that I love about cabaret is you can do Gershwin, you can do Cole Porter, you can do Bette Midler, you can do anything. Yeah. It allows you the freedom. You're not boxed in by rock and roll or jazz, or you can do it all. That's what I love about cabaret.
And we got to pass it down to the next generation coming up.
Amen.
So thank you for keeping the new stuff coming.
Put it up. There we go. There's the new show, Winter Song, Birdland, Monday, September 23rd, 7 p.m. You all folks, you know how to go online. go to Birdland, get your tickets, and see Amanda McBroom at Birdland on Monday night. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining us today.
I love this. Thank you so much.
What a
Our
delight.
pleasure.
Thank you so much. It's been
Tell
such
Michelle
a
we
great
said
pleasure.
hello.
I
Yes.
will. I'm calling her the minute we hang up.
All right. All right.
Sounds
Enjoy
great.
the rest of your day.
Absolutely. You
Beautiful,
too.
beautiful and sunny. You're in Southern California.
It is beautiful. It is now not in triple digits, which is fabulous. And may I
Wonderful.
compliment you both on your shirts.
Oh, thank you.
You
We
are
went
so
to the floral. We went
Had
to the
I known,
floral.
had you called me, I would have grabbed one of mine.
Anyway, so enjoy the rest of the day, Amanda, and see
Thank
you
you.
Monday.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.